Hello, Captain's Log, October 6, 2021. For those of you guys who do not know, today is Taylor's birthday, so it'd be nice if you went down the comments section and typed Happy Birthday, Taylor. Let's get on to today's discussion. Today we are going to be talking about something I didn't think I'd ever have to talk about when I first got into Sonichu. That being, there is now an unironic fandom for Sonichu. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. You heard correctly. Sonichu now has an unironic fandom. Sonichu is unoriginal. It is literally just a combination of Pokemon's Pikachu and Sonic's Sonic. They're just mixed together into a recolor. So it's weird that this recolor has spawned an entire fandom of its own. There are OCs in this fandom. There are recolors in this fandom. It is very strange to see a recolor being recolored. An OC being spun off into other OCs. It's weird. It's a weird thing that I don't see too often. So let's talk about the history of Sonichu and how this happened. So when Sonichu was first discovered by the internet, it was just ridiculed. It was mocked, no one cared about it, no one liked it. It was just a way to fuck with Christian. And that's the only reason why people cared about Sonichu at all, was to fuck with Christian. Well, Alec Benson Leary kind of started to change everything. He made Asperchu, and there are genuine fans of Asperchu. Asperchu is a satirical take on Sonichu's world. It would be the first Sonichu fan comic, so Asperchu kind of laid the path for every other one of these characters. Now, Asperchu was done to fuck with Chris. Chris said that he didn't consider himself to have Asperger's and didn't like Asperger's, so Asperchu is basically Christian with Asperger's. It was made to shit on Christian, and this was the standard at the time. After Asperchu, there'd be a bunch of knockoff comics that just kind of tried the same thing. It would be people murdering Sonichu characters being in dark situations. There would even be Sonichu continuations that got really dark and had all the characters die. That was the status quo for a while. Kiwi Farms later would change this status quo. This would be much after the original Christian trolling had stopped. There would be 2 fan comics made on Kiwi Farms that really started up fan comics of Sonichu again. Those comics being The Real Sonichu, which is yet again another dark satirical take on Sonichu, but actually does have some heart and soul put into it, and isn't as try-hard as Asperchu. And then there's also Rose Chew's Story. Rose Chew's story pokes fun at Chris, but in a way that Christian wouldn't even notice. It is a troll comic, but it does have a lot of genuine stuff in it. And the redesigns of the characters are actually pretty appealing. The twist on the story is actually pretty interesting, and it's a comic that Christian actually ended up liking himself. So now we have Asperchu, The Real Sonichu, and Rose Chew's Story. All 3 really good comics, inspiring people to do more with Sonichu and the entire Sonichu world. Well, it wouldn't be until someone ended up remaking all of Sonichu issue 0 that people found even more interest in redoing Sonichu stuff. And there's a guy on DeviantArt who I will have listed in the description below, who does amazing remake covers for all of the original Sonichu comics. I really wish that he would do a complete remake of all of Sonichu, but he has said that he is not interested in it when I asked him months ago. So, unfortunately, that won't be happening. But there are other Sonichu projects in the work, that being a comic called Sonichu A+, which is a complete reimagining of Sonichu's world. Helena also has her own Sonichu comic and Sonichu continuation. Even I have humored the idea of doing a Sonichu comic a few times, even though I haven't been able to get any of them to go anywhere, but I've been humoring it. And it's weird seeing how many people genuinely like Sonichu. If I had to pinpoint where the modern rise in the Sonichu interest comes from, I would say that it's Project S&T. S&T decided to do redesigning Sonichu characters on her channel. S&T is big in the Sonic the Hedgehog community, and I think when S&T focused on Sonichu on her Sonic channel, it got a lot of Sonic fans genuinely interested in Sonichu. People wanted to see these characters. People wanted to see more with these characters. And now, since Christian is a pariah again, he's famous nationwide, I would even say worldwide at this point, a lot more people are looking at Sonichu. A lot more people are trying to read Sonichu. And a lot more people see the potential in Sonichu. Right now, there is no full remake of Sonichu, and I really doubt there ever will be. But you can read Sonichu as is. There are plenty of archives. I'll link a couple in the description below, including one that I run myself, where I went through the later issues of Sonichu, removing all of the retcons, so character names stay consistent. And that was a really hard task, but I'm glad that I did it, because now you can read through Sonichu without people's names changing randomly. So, it is a very strange thing to see people go from ripping on Sonichu to people actually genuinely liking Sonichu. People like the world, people like the characters, and people think that this character has potential. People think that this world has potential. Me personally, I think Sonichu is a shitty recolor. I see no potential in Sonichu, and if I ever did a fan comic, it would be more so to continue what Christian did than me actually liking the idea of Sonichu. Sonichu is unoriginal, Sonichu is cringy. If I do anything Sonichu related, it's usually in a light-hearted sense, not sincerely. So, how do you guys feel about Sonichu? Tell me in the description below. Did you find this conversation interesting? Did the audio quality improve? I was tinkering with that last night to see what I can get going on this. And I'm also going to be getting some more foam to put around the mic. Maybe that will help. But yeah, yet again, happy birthday, Taylor. If you look in the comment section, hopefully there will be some nice messages down below. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.
We take all the moves we make, all the pain at stake. I see the chaos for everyone. Who are we? What can we do?